There's a special kind of connection that doesn't start with fireworks or loud declarations. It begins quietly, in the pauses, in the way two energies meet, in the way someone feels a little more at peace simply because you're near. Most people think love reveals itself through dramatic gestures, passionate confessions, or obvious signs. But sometimes, the most powerful emotions are the ones a man never says out loud, yet expresses in 100 subtle ways. Not every man falls for the loudest person in the room. Some men fall for the calm one, the woman whose presence feels like home, whose silence is gentle, whose voice smooths the edges of his day. He may not always articulate what he feels, but his behavior begins to shift around you. He relaxes without knowing why. He watches you without meaning to. He listens more carefully than he realizes. Something in you reaches a quiet place inside him that even he didn't know was waiting for warmth. You might think you're just being yourself, moving through life with softness, patience, or quiet strength. But to him, your presence is healing. In a world that constantly demands noise, speed, and toughness from him, you become the raised space where he can breathe, where he can slow down, where he doesn't have to explain every emotion or hide every worry behind a mask. It's not that he's weak, it's that with you, he feels seen in a way that makes him stronger. He may not always flirt or say dramatic things. In fact, the signs often appear in the smallest moments. The way he looks for you the second he enters a room, the ease in his shoulders when you speak, the softness in his eyes when you're near. He becomes more attentive without planning to. He becomes more gentle without forcing it. He becomes more himself, because your presence gives him permission to drop the weight he carries. Men don't crave chaos, they crave peace. They crave a presence that doesn't overwhelm them but balances them. A presence that doesn't demand perfection but accepts their imperfect humanity. And when he finds that in you, his actions, even the quiet ones, begin to reveal just how deeply your energy affects him. This kind of connection is rare. It's delicate, and it often grows silently, without either person fully realizing what's happening at first. But the signs are always there. They appear in his behavior long before they appear in his words. If you've ever wondered whether a man feels more for you than is letting on, if you've ever noticed subtle shifts, soft glances, or moments where he seems unusually calm around you, then these signs will help you understand the truth he may not yet know how to express. Here are 15 subtle but powerful signs he craves your calm presence more than you imagine. Signs that reveal what his heart has already felt, quietly and deeply. 1. He instantly relaxes when you walk into the room. There are people whose presence changes the entire atmosphere without saying a single word. When a man truly craves your calm presence, his body reacts before his mind even processes why. The moment you enter the room, his shoulders loosen, his breath evens out, and the invisible weight he carries seems to lighten. It's not something he does intentionally. It's the effect you have on him. You bring him a sense of emotional grounding that he doesn't find anywhere else. Maybe your energy is soft, or the way you move feels peaceful, or your overall presence reminds him of safety he doesn't often allow himself to feel. Other people may talk louder, joke around, or attract attention, but you are the one who brings balance to his internal storms. He notices the shift inside himself and tries to understand it, but the truth is simple. Your presence regulates him. Even when he's tense, irritated, or stressed, the moment he sees you, his mind automatically slows down. He may not say it aloud, but the calm he feels around you is rare and deeply meaningful. It's a kind of calm he cannot fake and cannot find with anyone else. 2. He watches you more than he speaks. A man who craves your calm presence doesn't always express it with words. He expresses it with quiet attention. He observes you, not out of judgment or curiosity, but because you genuinely bring him peace. When he's emotionally drawn to you, he finds himself studying your expressions, noticing how you react, how you listen, how you breathe when you're thinking. He watches you in moments when you're not even aware of it, when you're talking to someone else, when you're focused on your work, when you're simply existing. To him, your presence is soothing, and watching you helps him stay grounded. Words may fail him sometimes, especially when emotions run deep, but his eyes reveal what he cannot articulate. He watches because your presence softens his world. He watches because being near you is enough. He watches because something about you aligns with a part of him he rarely acknowledges, the part that longs for peace. And even if he doesn't always engage in long conversations, his quiet attentiveness shows where his heart rests most comfortably. 3. Your silence feels comforting to him. Most people feel pressured to fill silence with noise, conversation, or activity. But a man who truly craves your calm presence finds comfort in your silence. With you, silence doesn't feel awkward, it feels healing. He can sit beside you without speaking and still feel understood. Your presence removes the need for performance, explanation, or emotional masks. He doesn't feel judged or misunderstood when you're quiet. Instead, he feels seen. Your silence gives him space to breathe, to think, and to simply exist without expectations. Being with you feels like a gentle pause in a world that constantly demands noise and reaction. You offer him a rare emotional sanctuary where silence becomes a shared language, one that's more intimate than words. And the beauty is that this comfort only happens with someone whose energy deeply touches the heart. 4. He shares his vulnerable side only with you. When a man craves your calm presence, he instinctively chooses you as the one place where he can set his armor down. Vulnerability doesn't come easily to most men. Society teaches them to appear strong, controlled, and untouched by emotion. But with you, he feels a softness he can't explain. He begins opening up about the things he usually hides from the world, his fears, insecurities, childhood wounds, and the thoughts he suppresses. It's not that he trusts easily, it's that something about your presence makes him feel emotionally safe. You don't rush him, judge him, or use his honesty against him. You listen with a kind of steady warmth that gives him permission to be human. He realizes he can talk to you about the things he never tells anyone else, not even his friends. Your energy encourages him to let go of the pressure to be perfect. You become the one person he doesn't pretend around. When he shares vulnerable moments with only you, it means you've entered the deepest part of his emotional world, the part he protects fiercely. And that alone reveals how much he values you. 5. He always finds reasons to stay near you. When a man is drawn to your calm presence, he doesn't want to leave your side, even if he pretends it's just being casual. He'll linger after conversations end, stretch out moments that should have been brief, and create small excuses to remain close to you. Maybe he sits next to you when there are other empty seats. Maybe he keeps coming back into the room you're in. Maybe he starts helping you with little things just to stay involved. These actions aren't random, they are instinctive. Your presence feels soothing to him, like a quiet refuge from the rest of the world. Being near you regulates him emotionally. Your voice, your energy, even your way of moving makes him feel grounded. He stays close not out of obligation, but out of comfort. There's something about you that settles his spirit, so he keeps finding ways to be near you without making it too obvious. Staying close becomes his way of saying, I feel safe with you, even if he never puts those words into sentences. 6. He notices the smallest changes in your mood. A man who craves your calm presence doesn't just see you, he feels you. He pays attention to subtle shifts that most people overlook. The tone of your voice, the way your eyes move, the pause before you speak, or how your smile changes when something is bothering you. He notices the quiet things because he's deeply tuned into your emotional rhythm. Your presence matters to him, so your mood matters too. He knows when you're pretending to be okay, when something feels off, or when you need a little more gentleness. He might ask if you're all right, change his behavior to match your energy, or silently offer support just by staying close. His attention isn't controlling, it's caring. It comes from the emotional connection he feels when he's around you. You're not just another person in the room, you're the one he reads intuitively. And the fact that he notices these tiny details means that emotionally, he's invested far more than he lets on. 7. He protects your peace without being asked. When a man genuinely craves your calm presence, he becomes protective of the peace you carry, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a gentle, instinctive one. He notices when someone's tone toward you is harsh, when a situation is draining you, or when you're being pulled into stress you didn't ask for. Without making it obvious, he steps in to shield your emotional space. Maybe he redirects conversations that make you uncomfortable, steps up to handle something so you don't have to, or quietly removes unnecessary pressure from your day. He does it naturally, without you ever having to request it. Your peace is valuable to him because it's exactly what soothes him. He knows how rare your calm energy is, and he wants to preserve it at all costs. Protecting your peace becomes his silent way of saying, "You matter. Your comfort matters. Your emotional world matters." And he does it not out of obligation, but out of deep appreciation for how you make him feel. 8. Your voice calms him more than music ever could. A man who craves your calm presence finds something healing in the sound of your voice. It doesn't matter if you're talking about something important or something small. Your voice has a grounding effect on him. When life overwhelms him, hearing you speak slows down the chaos inside him. Your tone, your rhythm, the softness or steadiness in your words, all of it works like emotional medicine. Even during stressful moments, your voice cuts through the noise and brings him back to himself. You might not realize how powerful it is, but he does. He listens not just to your words, but to the comfort behind them. You become the voice that steadies his heartbeat, clears his mind, and reminds him that he's not alone in this world. Music can distract him, but you calm him. So when he calls you, stays on the phone longer, or asks you to repeat something, it's not the conversation, it's the comfort in your voice he's seeking. 9. He opens up about his day only to you. When a man chooses you as the person he talks to about his day, it's not accidental, it's deeply emotional. He may interact with many people, but you're the one he turns to when he wants to unwind mentally. Whether his day was difficult, confusing, exciting, or overwhelming, you are his first emotional destination. He tells you about moments that frustrated him, things that made him think, and experiences that no one else would understand. This isn't just sharing, it's trust. He knows that when he talks to you, he feels lighter. You don't judge his choices, dismiss his worries, or interrupt his flow. You listen with warmth and gentle curiosity, and that alone makes him feel seen. You become the emotional space where he decompresses, where his thoughts make sense, and where he can lay down the weight of the day. If he's opening up to you more than anyone else, it's because your presence gives him the comfort and grounding he craves, even when he doesn't fully realize it. 10. He treats your presence like a safe place. When a man sees your presence as a safe place, he doesn't just enjoy being around you, he rests around you. The world demands so much from him: strength, logic, control, responsibility. But with you, he feels none of that pressure. Instead, he feels emotionally held in a way he struggles to explain. He can breathe differently around you, deeper, steadier, freer. You become the space where he can be his real, unfiltered self without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. He doesn't walk on eggshells with you. He doesn't overthink his words. He doesn't feel the need to impress you with perfection. Your presence is enough to quiet the noise in his mind. Whether he's sitting beside you in silence or sharing something raw, he feels emotionally safe with you in a way he rarely does with anyone else. The comfort you give him becomes something he unconsciously seeks, not because he's weak, but because your presence feels like emotional home. 11. He remembers details others forget. A man who craves your calm presence pays attention in ways others don't. He remembers your favorite drink, the songs you mentioned once, small preferences you never repeated, and the subtle stories you shared casually. He recalls the little details because the moments with you matter to him. Your words leave an impression, not because he tries hard to memorize them, but because your presence naturally captures his attention. When he brings up something you forgot you even said, it's because he holds your words with care. He listens between the lines, to your mood, your tone, your pauses. He notices your habits, your reactions, your likes and dislikes. These tiny memories become his way of understanding you better. It's not grand gestures that reveal his feelings, it's the quiet knowing. And the only reason he stores these small details is because, emotionally, you've already become important to him. 12. He mirrors your energy without realizing it. When a man is emotionally connected to you, he begins to match your energy naturally. If you're calm, he becomes calm. If you're excited, he lights up. If you're feeling low, he softens without even thinking. This mirroring isn't manipulation, it's emotional alignment. It happens subconsciously because he feels attuned to you. Your mood influences is without force or intention. He picks up on your rhythm, your pace, and your emotional state, adjusting himself so the connection feels balanced and harmonious. This happens only with people who matter deeply to him. When he mirrors your energy, it means he's tuned into you on a level that's intuitive. He wants you to feel comfortable, so his body and behavior adapt to yours instinctively. And the most beautiful part, he doesn't even notice he's doing it. That's how strong the emotional pull is. 13. He looks for you in every crowd. When a man deeply craves your calm presence, you become the first person his eyes search for without him even realizing it. Whether he walks into a room full of people or joins a group conversation, his attention naturally tries to locate you. It's not about obsession, it's about comfort. Your presence gives him a sense of emotional anchoring that he doesn't find elsewhere. Even in busy or loud environments, he feels most at ease when he knows you're nearby. He may pretend he's just scanning the room, but his gaze always returns to you, checking if you're okay, seeing what you're doing, or simply making sure you're still there. This subtle behavior reveals how much your presence stabilizes him. You are the emotional calm in the chaos, the one who makes every room feel less overwhelming. And when he finds you in the crowd, there's a quiet ease in his expression, like something inside him finally settles. 14. He never rushes you. Your pace grounds him. Some people get impatient when others take their time, but a man who values your calm presence reacts differently. He doesn't rush you. He adjusts to you. Your pace, whether in speaking, thinking, or moving, soothes him. In a world that pushes him to move fast and react quickly, your slower, more peaceful rhythm feels like a breath of fresh air. He listens to you without interrupting, waits for you without irritation, and gives you space without pressure. Your pace becomes emotionally grounding for him, helping him slow down from his constant mental speed. When he chooses to match your pace, it means he genuinely appreciates the balance you bring into his life. He feels more centered beside you, and he realizes that peace doesn't come from urgency, it comes from presence. 15. He stays even when you say you're fine. When you tell most people you're fine, they accept it and move on. But not him. A man who craves your calm presence can sense the truth beneath your words. He hears the emotions you won't express and sees the feelings you try to hide. Instead of stepping back, he stays, gently, quietly, without pushing. He offers support not through big speeches, but through presence. He gives you space yet doesn't leave you alone. He may sit beside you, ask a soft question, or simply stay near until you're ready to talk. His presence becomes his way of saying, you don't have to go through anything alone. He stays because your emotional world matters to him, because your comfort matters, your feelings matter, and you matter. His refusal to walk away when you're pretending to be okay reveals more about his heart than any confession ever could.